Do you also like to keep your knives sharp on leather strops? I do, but I had the problem that I couldn't achieve a consistent cutting edge quality. Sometimes the cutting edge was hair-whittling sharp after the stropping process, and sometimes I had the feeling that the result was even worse than before. Do you know this problem? I found a simple technique solution for this difficulty. So stay tuned if you want to improve your stropping skills. Hello YouTube! Welcome to another Swiss Army knife tip and trick video. Today's topic is how you can hold a consistently perfect angle during the stropping process. I usually strop my knives to keep them on a high sharpness level. With a leather strop, you can sharpen your knife from sharp to scary sharp. From dull to sharp is normally not possible with a leather strop because the idea behind the leather strop is to polish the cutting edge. And for that, you add very small adhesive particles on the leather surface in the size from about 1 to 10 micrometers. And like this, you can polish your cutting edge. So a polished cutting edge has many advantages over a rough cutting edge. You will have less corrosion problems, you will have less chipping problems, you will have less cutting resistance, and you will have a longer edge retention. So stropping your knife is actually the last step in the sharpening process if you want to achieve the last 5% of sharpness and durability. I have the feeling that many people think that stropping a knife is a super easy skill you can learn in an hour. But I would not sign this statement because in my case it was totally different. I needed so many attempts, I needed so much practicing until I got more or less consistently good results. And to be honest, even now after 10 years stropping experience, it's not easy for me to achieve always the same cutting edge quality if I strop freehand. But if I strop with a guided system like this, I got consistently good results on a high sharpness level. If you want to strop a knife on a leather belt, you can make 1,000 things wrong. So you can give too much pressure, you can hold the wrong angle, you can use the wrong leather, the wrong side of the leather, the wrong compound, and 1,000 things more. But the different results regarding the cutting performance between freehand stropping and stropping with a guided sharpening device showed me that there was two main factors who influenced the bad result on freehand stropping. The first point is that I obviously was not able to find the right angle. And on top, I was not able to keep this angle in a sufficient consistency. The second point was I worked with too much pressure. And yes, I can understand your argument if you say freehand stropping forgives a little bit angular errors or angular imprecision because of the soft leather surface of the strop. The leather surface follows the contour of the cutting edge until a certain degree. But this works the best if you work with a lot of pressure. And this is what I don't recommend to do. That's why I tried out how many degrees inaccuracy can the leather compensate if you work with just a little bit pressure. For that, I put back the sharp knife in the clamps of the sharpening device and I reduced the angle about 3 degrees. After that, I colored the cutting bevel with the waterproof marker. Then I made a few strokes with the leather strop. After that, I took out the knife and I went under the microscope. You can clearly see that I not reach the cutting edge with the strop if I work with only a little bit pressure. And yes, if I would press more, I could reach the apex. But like this, I would round up the whole geometry of the cutting edge, including the apex. And this is not what you want. So this little test showed me that if you want to strop a knife from, I would say, 2 times 20 degrees, and if you want to have a good result, you have to find and to keep the angle in a range about plus minus 3 degrees. And this is not that much. And now comes the trick, or the device for this trick into play I want to show you in this video. And this trick is not my invention. I saw this on the YouTube channel from Schleif Junkies. This YouTube channel with the associated web shop is operated by Hans Black. Hans is a very innovative knife sharpening freak. Especially on the topic knife sharpening with the Tormek system, he invented a lot of useful stuff. So please visit his YouTube channel and his high quality grinding gear web shop, which runs also in English. The link for his YouTube channel and his web shop you find here and in the description box below. And on the YouTube channel from Schleif Junkies I saw this stropping device. I like the idea to put the leather strop in the correct angle so that you can hold the knife horizontally. So if you want to buy the professional version of this kit, you will find the link in the description box below. But if you want to craft such an adjustable leather strop with material who is lying around in your workshop, don't stop this video. In my simple version, it will take not longer than 10 minutes to craft such an adjustable stropping device. So, and this is how the project should look like finally. To keep the blade horizontally in a range of plus minus 3 degrees is much more easier than hold the knife in a 20-degree angle. Especially if you have a reference flat like the table surface here. This is much easier than to find the right angle like this. And this is the reason why this device helped me a lot to improve the cutting performance of my stropped knives. All you need is a wooden slat about 30 centimeters or 12 inch. Piece of leather. If you don't have leather, doesn't matter, you can also grind direct on the wood. A threaded rod, a nut, a washer and the polishing compound of your choice. So the first step is to control if the wooden flat has a 90-degree angle, so that's okay. The next step is to sand a small hollow on the end with the 90-degree angle. Because I just wanted 2 contact points with the table surface here, and like this the stand is more stable. So I would say this is enough. Next step is to flatten the surface of each side a little bit. Now I mark the hole on the other side. The next step is to drill the hole. Now I cut the thread. Now I add a double-sided adhesive tape from, I would say, from here to somewhere here. Then I take the leather, and please keep in mind, this video is not about which leather you should use, or which side of the leather you should use, or which polishing compound you should add on the leather. This video is just about how to craft such a device which should help you to find the right angle and to keep the right angle for a best possible stropping result if you strop freehand. So now I can insert the thread. Then add the washer and the nut. So, and that's it. If you have, you can also add such a wooden ball, but this is just for a nice look. This is not really important. And as I already said, if you don't have leather, you can also add the polishing compound direct on the wood. This is a little bit more difficult because it's less angle inaccuracy forgiving than with the leather, but it works. And now you just have to add the polishing compound and you can start with stropping. So now you can adjust the exactly angle you need with such a protractor. Or you can also take a digital protractor like this and adjust the angle you need. If you don't know how you can measure out the exact grinding angle of your knife, I showed you in this video how you can craft such a goniometer in 3 different versions. Finally, a little demonstration of how I use this special strop. Put the blade of your knife flat on the table. If you have a flat grind knife, you have to lift the cutting edge a little bit so that the blade comes to stay horizontal. Now you can move to the strop. It's important that you don't turn your wrist. Hold your wrist stiff. Like this you can keep the horizontal position of the blade. Make some strokes. If you are not sure if the blade is still horizontal, go back to the reference flat. After some more strokes, turn the side and make the same on the other side. So my friends, that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. Please try out this stropping device, give me a feedback, and see you in 1 or 2 weeks. Thanks a lot for watching. Ciao!